friends, welcome back to Amanda's Bookish Adventures. It is day 15 of Bookmas, and we will be talking about books that have been announced for movie and TV, and it is part 1. We have two more parts after this one, so I'm just going to read you a list of what we have, the first 10, and then I'm going to read the book's descriptions off of my computer screen. So we have Legend by Marie Lu, Legendborn by Tracy. Can't read my spelling. We have Beast of Prey. We have Cinder by Marissa Meyer, which I'm really, really, really happy about. Finley Donovan is Killing It by Ellie. I can't read my handwriting. We have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I think it's a theater / Netflix release. I'm trying so hard not to cough. We have Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, which will be coming on HBO Max. It happened one summer, which probably before the computer screen. I have the book over there. I'll just read that to you. We have The Spanish Love Deception. I really can't read my writing. And then we have Aegon TV show off of Disney Plus. So those are the first 10 I will be talking about in part 1, but I do have one of the books, so I will go get it and then I'll be right back, and then you'll be staring at the computer. I got my copy of It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. So it says, Piper Bellinger is fashionable, influential, and her reputation as a wild child means the paparazzi are constantly on her heels. When too much champagne and an out-of-control rooftop party landed Piper in the slammer, her stepfather decides enough is enough. So he cuts her off and sends her and her sister to learn some responsibility, running their late father's dive bar in Westport, Washington. Piper hasn't even been to Westport 5 minutes when she meets big bearded sea captain Braden Taggett, who thinks she won't last a week outside of Beverly Hills. So what if Piper can't do math, and the idea of sleeping in a shabby apartment with bunk beds give her hives? How bad could it be, really? She's determined to show her stepfather and the hot, grumpy local that she's more than just a pretty face, except it's a small town, and everywhere she turns, she bumps into Braden. The fun-loving socialite and the gruff fisherman are polar opposites, but there's an undeniable attraction simmering between them. Piper doesn't want any distractions, especially feelings for a man who sails off into the sunset for weeks at a time. Yet as she reconnects with her past and begins to feel at home in Westport, Piper starts to wonder if the cold, glamorous life she knew is what she truly wants. LA is calling her name, but Braden and this town full of memories may have already caught her heart. So I am actually really excited that this is getting released. There is a second one to this with the sister, which I don't physically own yet. I hope that becomes a movie as well, but that hasn't been announced, so probably they'll see how this one does and then see if they can they'll record a second one. But after this, you'll be staring at my computer screen. And I am sorry, but I'm actually really excited that Tessa Bailey, one of her books, is getting to be a movie series. Or just a movie. I'm so sorry. I'm trying so hard again not to cough, but I'm actually super excited. I have Legend by Marie Lu on this list, and I'm just going to read the description of this book. So it says, what was once the Western United States is now home to the Republic, a nation perturbed at war with its neighbors. Born into an elite family in one of the Republic's wealthiest districts, 15-year-old June is a prodigy being groomed for success in Republic's highest military circles. Born into the slums, 15-year-old Day is the country's most wanted criminal, but his motives may not be as malicious as they seem. From very different worlds, June and Day have no reason to cross paths until the day June's brother Matthias is murdered, and Day becomes the prime suspect. Caught in the ultimate game of cat and mouse, Day is in a race for his family's survival. why June seeks to avenge Mate's death. But in shocking turn of events, the two uncover the truth of what has really brought them together, and the sinister lengths their country will go to keep its secrets. And I believe this one is becoming a Peacock original, if I remember correctly. So we have Legend Born by Tracy Dion. So after her mother dies in an accident, 16-year-old Bree Matthews wants nothing to do with her family memories or childhood home. A residential program for bright high schoolers at UNC Chapel Hill seems like the perfect escape until Bree witnesses a magic attack her very first night on campus, a flying demon feeding on human energies. A secret society of so-called legend-born students hunt the creatures down. And a mysterious teen mage who calls himself Merlin, who attempts and fails to wipe Bree's memory of everything she saw. The mage's failure unlocks Bree's own unique magic and a buried memory with a hidden connection. The night her mother died, another Merlin was at the hospital. Now that Bree knows there's more to her mother's death than what's on the police report, she'll do whatever it takes to find out the truth, even if it means infiltrating the Legendborn as one of their initiates. She recruits Nick, a self-exiled Legendborn with his own grudge against the group, and their reluctant partnership pulls them deeper into the society's secrets and closer to each other. But when the Legendborn reveals themselves as the descendants of King Arthur's knights and explains that a magic war is coming, Bree has decided how far she'll go for the truth and whether she should use her magic to take the society down or join the fight. We have Beast of Prey by Anya Gray. So magic doesn't exist in the broken city of La Costa anymore, especially for girls like 16-year-old Kofi. Indentured to the notorious Night Zoo, she cares for its fearsome and magical creatures to pay off her family's debts and secure their eventual freedom. But the night her loved one's own safety is threatened by the zoo's cruel master, Kofi unleashes a power she doesn't fully understand, and the consequences are dire. As the second son of a decorated hero, Akon is all but destined to become a son of the Six, an elite warrior, and uphold a family legacy. But on the night of his final rite of passage, a fire upends his plans. In its midst, Akon not only encounters the Shanti, a vicious monster that has plagued the city and his nightmares for nearly a century, but a curious girl who seems to have the power to ward off the beast. Kofi's power ultimately saves Akon's life, but his choice to let her flee dooms his hopes of becoming a warrior. Desperate to redeem himself, Akon vows to hunt down the Shanti and end its reign of terror, but he can't do it alone. Meanwhile, Kofi believes finding the Shanti and selling it for a profit could be the key to solving her own problem. Kofi and Akon, each keeping secrets from the other, form a tentative alliance and enter into the unknowns of the greater jungle, a world steeped in wild magic and untold dangers. The hunt begins, but it quickly becomes clear whether they are the hunter or the hunted. Then we have the one I'm really excited about, Cinder by Marissa Meyer. So humans and androids crowd the my voice is wearing out. The wretched streets of New Beijing. A deadly plague ravages the population. From space, a ruthless lunar people watch, waiting to make their move. No one knows that Earth's fate hinges on one girl, Cinder. A gifted mechanic is a cyborg. She is a second-class citizen with a mysterious past, reviled by her stepmother and blamed for her stepsister's illness. But when her life becomes intertwined with the handsome Prince Guy, she suddenly finds herself at the center of an intergalactic struggle and a forbidden attraction. Caught between duty and freedom, loyalty and betrayal, she must uncover the secrets about her past in order to protect her world's future. Then we have Finley Donovan. Finley Donovan is killing it. So Finley Donovan is killing it, except, oh god, my freaking voice. Except she's really not. A stressed out single mom of two, struggling novelist, Finley's life is in chaos. The new book she promised her literary agent isn't written. Her ex-husband has fired the nanny without telling her. And this morning she had to send her 4-year-old to school with hair duct tape to her head after an incident with scissors. When Finley is overheard discussing the plot of her new suspense novel with her agent over lunch, she's mistaken for a contract killer and inevitably accepts an offer to dispose of a problem husband in order to make ends meet. She soon discovers that crime in real life is a lot more difficult than its fictional counterpart, as she becomes tangled in a real-life murder investigation. Then we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Aging and recluse Hollywood movie icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses an unknown magazine reporter, Monique Grant, for the job, no one is more astonished than Monique herself. Why her? Why now? Monique is not exactly on top of the world. Her husband has left her, and her professional life is going nowhere. Regardless of why Evelyn has selected her to write her biography, Monique is determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career. Summoned to Evelyn's luscious apartment, Monique listens in fascination as the actress tells her story, from making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s to her decision to leave show business in the 80s, and of course, the 7 husbands along the way. Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. Monique begins to feel a very real connection to the legendary star, but as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in a tragic and irreversible ways. All right, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go get a cup of tea or something. We have the Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. So it says, Catalina Martin desperate needs a date to her sister's wedding, especially since her little white lie about her American boyfriend has spiraled out of control. Now everyone she knows, including her ex and his fiancé, will be there and eager to meet him. She only has 4 weeks to find someone willing to cross the Atlantic, aid her in her deception. New York to Spain is no short flight, and her rambunctious family won't be easy to fool. Enter Aaron Blackford, her tall, handsome, condescending colleague, who surprisingly offers to step in. She'd rather refuse. Never has been more a grieving, blood-boiling, and insufferable man. But Catalina is desperate, and as the wedding draws near, Aaron looks like her best option, and she begins to realize he might not be as terrible in the real world as he is in the office. So we have Aragon by Christopher, I'm not saying the last name. So it says, one boy, one dragon, a world of adventure. When Aragon finds a polished blue stone in the forest, he thinks it's the luckiest discovery of a poor farm boy. Perhaps it will buy his family meat for the winter. But when the stone becomes a dragon hatchling, Aragon soon realizes he has stumbled upon a legacy nearly as old as the Empire itself. Overnight, his simple life is shattered, and he's thrust into a perilous new world of destiny, magic, and power. With only an ancient sword and the advice of an old storyteller for guidance, Aragon and the fledgling dragon must navigate the dangerous terrain and dark enemies of an empire ruled by a kingdom whose evil knows no bounds. Can Aragon take up the mantle of the legendary dragon riders? The fate of the empire may rest in his hands. That is it for day 15 of Bookmas. I'm looking forward to see you guys tomorrow for part 2, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below which one of this first 10 of book to TV announced that you're excited for so far. I'd love to hear your thoughts.